My 25 meters, GF 26F, broke down in tears because I didn't get one item from our grocery list. We were supposed to have supper. Let's say spaghetti with cheese on top. Not really, but I don't want to get too specific. And I didn't get the cheese. Some might say that it ruins the whole dish. Some might not care too much if it's there or not. So we were out shopping together. And as we're going down the grocery list, I ask my GF if we want cheese. To which she says no. We finish shopping, go back home, and I start making the dish while she showers. She gets out. I let it simmer for a bit and go shower. Once I get out of the shower and am about to serve it, she suddenly asks if we bought cheese. I look at her and say we didn't. I say I even asked her if we should get it and she said no. She says she thought I was asking her about something else. To be fair, what I asked her and what she said she heard is different by one syllable in our language. And both of these things could go together with the dish I made. I assume she did mishear me. At this point she gets up and says she's not gonna eat it. She got some leftovers from the fridge and went to the other room to eat. I figured it's best to let her be alone for a while. So I ate part of what I made for the evening. After some time I go to check on her and she's laying in bed crying her eyes out. I was taken aback, as this was not a reaction I expected at all. I tried talking to her, but she both refused to eat it without cheese and didn't want me to go and get it now. She was extremely upset and still crying a lot. She told me she was very hungry and didn't eat much through the day, and now she feels even worse. 'Cause we went shopping together, then she waited for me to put the dish together, but in the end she couldn't even eat it. I know it sucks to not eat much through the day, say I could kinda understand where she was coming from. I decided that at this point in time there's not much else I could do but go and get the cheese. Which I did. I came back and found her eating some snack we had left. I asked her if she would like to eat now, that we can heat it up, but she adamantly refuses to eat that dish and doesn't want to talk with me either. She earlier said she's going to be sleeping on the couch tonight. If she goes through with it remains to be seen. I'm wondering what I could do to try and remedy the situation. Do I just let her be? I'm struggling to fully understand her point of view. As for me, it doesn't matter if a particular ingredient is missing or no. To some extent I see where she's coming from, but not fully. Thoughts? TLDR. My GF broke down in tears after I didn't buy one ingredient from our grocery list. The cheese is not the issue here. Oh man. One time I was stressed out about a million things. I didn't sleep well, and I burst out in tears because a place was out of bagels. I'm guessing something else is going on with your GF, because that is a wildly disproportionate reaction to something mildly disappointing. Sometimes if your plate is overflowing with stress, one simple meal you're looking forward to that didn't go as expected can crack that plate. I once had a last dinner with a long-term boyfriend before we broke up. I had leftovers. I was so stressed during that meal that I couldn't hardly eat. So I was looking forward to eating it the next day. My roommate's guest ate it. I sobbed over some pasta. There is always another reason, but she might not even know why. She was disappointed. This seems like a massive overreaction. Are you sure it is about the cheese? Is there anything else going on in her life right now? Are things in the relationship otherwise good? In general? There's more to this. IDK what it was really about. But it wasn't about the cheese. If there's a lot going on for her right now, it could have just been the final straw. Sometimes when you've been trying to hold it together, the tiniest thing can send you over the edge. Maybe she's feeling like her needs aren't being met, not necessarily in the relationship. Maybe something at work, with family. I'm not sure. And not being bought the cheese just felt like another way she's being overlooked. Like I said, I don't know. Try and think about other things you know have been going on for her and approach her about it. Tomorrow when things have calmed down. This runs a lot deeper than cheese. Is there anything else going on in the relationship or her life that could cause a reaction like this? I have a feeling the cheese was just the final straw for whatever else it is that's going on. The most you can do right now is just give her time to not be as upset and try talking to her about it when she's ready. I feel like there's something else going on. Emotions can be heightened due to hormones, or because other things are on her mind. I'd talk to her and see what's really up. Low blood sugar can make some people, myself included, extremely emotional. Also, extreme thirst can do that to me. If that's how she is, I can help to always have a bottle of water and a small snack. NTA. But, my dude, her crying is not about cheese. Time to find out what she is actually upset about. The cheese was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Good luck. I can only say, I used to get like this around my menstrual cycle. I had endo, and it was hell on my hormones. I'm not trying to excuse her or feminize her response, but I did want to at least put that possibility out there. Or, it could be that she's going through some inner turmoil. Maybe try talking to her? Or, is there anything in your relationship she may be unhappy about? Just trying to think of possibilities. Given the info you provided, it's a bit baffling. I think you did a good thing when you went back for the cheese. By the way, that was very kind of you. Okay, I can maybe understand where she's coming from more than most people if her brain works like mine does. I have a weird relationship with food and with anything not going as planned. So if I find out that a meal is going to be different from what I expected, I can have a really hard time. I try to communicate about it though, and all of the people I regularly share food with know this about me, so they know what's going on if I start to have a hard time. This isn't about cheese. She's so stressed one minor thing is what broke her. I've been there. One time in nursing school I had been extremely stressed with the amount of class work and regular work. I worked full-time in nursing school. There were weeks when I was pulling 12-hour days 7 days a week between my job and clinicals. I met up with my boyfriend and all I wanted was a coffee. A latte with some kind of flavor. It was late in the evening, so the first place we went was closing up. Second place had a line and no available seats. Third place was open, and I asked for one of their specialty lattes. Oh, we're out of that. Picked a second one. We don't have the 2 ingredients. Third choice. We're out of that one too. I left. My boyfriend asked if I wanted to try the Dunkin' Donuts. I snapped and said forget it. I probably could have gone there, but I didn't want to because by that point I was too upset to try anymore. If I had only wanted coffee, I'd have gone there first. It wasn't about coffee. It was about having something nice just for a break. This is where your girlfriend is. She wasn't thinking about cheese. Whatever you were cooking was about having something that would feel nice. She might have been looking forward to it. She could have been waiting all day thinking, all of this sucks, but at least I'll get to have food with specific ingredient tonight. And when it was missing the cheese, it felt like a big disappointment. Don't ask about the cheese. Ask about how much pressure she feels like she's been shouldering lately. Any chance she is pregnant? Because this level of overreacting is kind of a thing for some women then. She might not know. Either way, it's either a hormonal thing or something else is the matter. Be gentle. If it's hormones, pregnancy or other health things, she might honestly not compute. Try to get on the bottom of this after she calmed down. Just comfort her until this moment has passed. Then try to find out if something else is up or if she is feeling unusual. I don't want to sound alarmist, But she should take a pregnancy test. I remember crying, being overly emotional over small things. Like this. Was just before I knew I was pregnant. Is she pregnant? I cried once because the broccoli was too green. Is she pregnant? I did something similar a couple times while pregnant lol. Agreeing with other comments. It's not about the cheese. You mentioned she's stressed at work. It's probably all that stress, and maybe she'd been looking forward to this one thing and it had been a bright spot in her day. Then the letdown happened. That disappointment on a normal day would be fine. But when so much is going on, it can feel like the world is ending. It's overwhelming and the focus ends up being on this thing when it's really about other stuff. No one did anything wrong. Miscommunication happens. I am not comparing your GF to a cat, but a vet once told me something about a cat I had that has stuck with me. A bucket is full of water. Each new stressor adds a drop, and one of those drops will eventually cause the bucket to overflow, creating a stress reaction. This is likely a stress reaction, and she's going to need to find ways to help with these high stress levels to help herself get through. Maybe after she's calmed down you can ask questions to see where the real problems are without putting focus on what happened. I know work has been hard. Do you want to talk about it? If you'd like to help her you can ask how you can support her. But her stress is also her responsibility. Though your support will be very appreciated and helpful. I don't think you did anything wrong. You had a miscommunication, and it was the breaking point of what was already a stressful day for her. I think for me the crux of it is if after she has time to calm down and self-regulate she'll apologize for taking it out on you or not. Because right now, her behavior is tipping into emotional abuse. Yes, sometimes small things can make us unreasonably upset. But I waited for you to cook this meal and now I can't even eat it is not correct. She chose not to eat it. Even after you went and got the cheese. She still refused to eat it. And refuses to speak to you. And threatened to sleep on the couch. All this after you asked about the cheese in the first place. I think you need to think back and assess if this is a pattern of behavior for her. Does she often blame you for her bad moods? Does she often make you jump through hoops to appease her? But there's no winning no matter what you do or say. If this is an isolated incident, it's forgivable, but she still has to recognize that she needs better, healthier coping mechanisms. And to take accountability for her part in how she's feeling. Like refusing to eat. This isn't about cheese. I bet there's a combo of things that just pile and pile. Everyone hits a breaking point. I'm guessing today was hers. Any chance she could be pregnant? I can remember having a damn near complete emotional breakdown at the slightest inconvenience for my entire first trimester.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. GbKremo is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.